Yo, thank you so much, Emoji J. Thank you for that, guys. If you please take an opportunity, please hit him with that favorite. Dude put a lot of energy and effort into that. I really appreciate him coming up with that. And dude, thank you so much for that. Give everybody a chance to hit you with that favorite real quick. And guys, just wanted to welcome you right now. Thank you so much for being here. This is a show that we do every Monday night. It's called Gratitude. We talk about a lot of different things, a lot of different subjects. What we try to do is we try to get people in that talk about some things in their life that they're grateful for, situations and circumstances that they're appreciative of, and just things like that. Gives us an opportunity as streamers to try to bring something new and fresh, content-wise, to the app. And I think that if everybody can continue to try to find their own niche and their own path of things that they would like to share on their own streams, I think it gives, like I said, it gives us a great opportunity to share things about us as people and things like that. So as we get started, just wanted to give you guys just a quick thing. We do quote every week that we just try to give as just a wonderful reminder to people of things that we're talking about, and just encouraging words that I think that if you listen to, that you can really get a lot out of. We all put a lot of thought into things that we do, things that we say, people that we surround ourselves with, whether it's on the app, whether it's in real life. And I think that it's just important to try to do that. So just to kind of start out with a quote for the audience, to be grateful for your challenges, setbacks, adversity, and disappointments. Be grateful for your opportunity to overcome every single one, because doing so contributes to your growth and your ability to help others overcome theirs. Guys, that's really good stuff right there. I mean, seriously, when I first read that, when I first thought about what I was going to bring to the table tonight, and what I had some help from some other people. My friend Pineapple Queen is such an amazing person. She certainly helps me with a lot of this. It's just a great reminder that we all have to kind of take back time and just reflect on our lives and things that we're appreciative of. I know that we all sometimes have stuff that come up in our life, and whether it be things with our kids or jobs and things like that, we still have to reflect on things that we're grateful for. Like I said, opportunities, people in our life that matter, people that we talk to every day. There's a lot of people on this app that we may talk to every single day. And for us to continue to be appreciative and thankful and grateful for what those people bring to our lives, certainly what we put into theirs, I think it's just a really important thing that we should, like I said, work on every single day. So just to hit that quote one more time, guys, be grateful for your challenges, setbacks, adversity, and disappointments. Be grateful for your opportunity to overcome every single one, because doing so contributes to your growth and your ability to help others overcome theirs. So guys, I just think that just hits. When you just think about that kind of stuff, it's just awesome, because we just want to grow. We just want to be positive. We want to affect everybody else in such a positive way. So again, just wanted to share that with you guys. Hopefully that's just some food for thought, something that we can apply to our lives every single day. So just to give a recap of last week, guys, I don't know if anybody's new here or if you were here at last week's show. Our topic last week was lessons learned. We had an amazing person that was on. Her name is Brooke Falls. Great person, great musician, great individual. And so she was on here and she shared a lot of wonderful things about her life, some things that she, learned from in her life, as far as lessons, as far as things in the music industry, just stuff that she really shared that was amazing. I mean, her being such a young, talented, artist at the age of, I think, 12 was when she first started. She learned a lot of stuff from the music industry. She learned a lot of stuff from her personal life with some friends and things like that. So if anybody wants to comment on that, that's a challenge that we're going to present to everybody each and every single week. Is something that the topic that we talk about is something that we can continue to reflect on. It's a challenge that I pose to you guys to try to think about that. So if anybody wants to comment right now, what are some lessons that you've learned? Just to take a few minutes, just to see what was important to you guys. What are some things that you've learned in your own life? What are some things you learned on the app? Go ahead and hit me with those comments below. And it's awesome to just hear what so many people go through. It doesn't have to be that serious. It doesn't have to be that deep. or it can just be something that people will really want to share. So, I personally learn every single day to be a better person, to be a better streamer, to be a better, son to my mom and dad, to be a better brother to my sister, to be a better owner of businesses and things like that. That's stuff that I learn every single day. Things that you try to do. Blake said you try to find more peace in life, not always be on the run. Take a time to pause and reflect. That's important. Frisky said, learn not to take people for granted. That's important. Beth said, think before I say things. These are wonderful things that people can work on every single day. Baby says, I only can control my own reaction to others. Right. Lifelong partners, self-love. Think before you take action. Be mindful of how you express what is on your mind, to be more understanding of others. That's a great point, Will, too. Everybody has great points. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Be good to other people. Learn that the way that we treat others is how we want to be treated. Nobody's perfect. We all go through different things in life. We all go through certain circumstances, but we want to find what makes us great towards other people and what they can do and bring to our life. I think choosing the right perspective and seeing everything in the correct light every day. Constantly trying to have positive perspective. That's amazing. Sparkles Choff. I try to focus on that too. My brain is always going a mile a minute and I forget to ground myself in the day. My biggest struggle. Listen to people more. Try to not let people try to control your life. It's okay to take time to find out what makes you happy. Be more patient with people. This is great stuff, guys. This is the kind of stuff that we want to talk about each and every single week. It gives you guys a chance to help us have a better show, be able to connect with each other on a more personal level. It doesn't always have to be about streaming. It doesn't always have to be about diamonds and the favorites and things like that. It's just a wonderful way for us to continue to grow and connect and network and things like that. It's definitely hard to do. I know that it's stuff that we have to work on every single day. And so, I do the same thing as well. It's something that we have to do every single day to try to build our relationships and connections with people. So I think this is wonderful stuff. And as we talk about this right now, I want to, bring up someone that is an amazing person, someone that I feel like can really, share some things about her life. Guys, this week's topic is overcoming a challenge. So, as we try to work on this kind of stuff every single day, we know that life is not perfect. Things are going to happen. We may be going left and we should be going right. Katy Perry, you're hot or you're cold, you're yes or you know. Things can get like that sometimes in life. And so we all can kind of, have to overcome a challenge. And so when we go through things like that, I think it makes us better people. I think it helps us be better mothers, fathers. I think it can help us be better friends, better spouses, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever the case may be. I think that it just helps us, get where we want to be as far as overcoming a challenge. So, guys, just want to introduce, and if she wants to jump in the box right now, she can. I just want to introduce to you guys an amazing person, an amazing, friend of mine that I certainly think a lot of. Just at this time, I'm going to welcome her on the show, guys. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give I was going to say a standing ovation, but just a chat ovation for Breezy.
Hi.
Hey. How are you, love?
I'm good. I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
I know you had a big week, guys. Speaking of just being a great person, she put on an amazing battle for, it was Battle of the Branches this week. She had a lot of contestants that were in it just to do a wonderful, fun thing. And it was also a great representation of people that were in our armed forces and, Marine Corps, Navy, Army, we had so many different people that were in this thing. And I think that it brought a lot of people together, even though it was battle, even though it was, this or that, it was still at its natural core, a wonderful thing. And I just wanted to, applaud you and commend you for that, because it was great to just be, such a supporting cast member of what you were putting on. And I just wanted to give you the floor and just tell you I appreciate you just doing something small like that, because it is an app, but this is real life for people. And I think it was just great, and it was certainly a reflection on you as a person. So, if you want to take the time to share anything about yourself or you as a streamer or anything like that, for anybody that's new to you or, never been in your stream or never seen you as a person, I'd love for you to take the time to just share anything you'd like to share.
Well, thank you guys so much. Seriously, I want to thank you, Jamison, for the opportunity for this as well. We're going to see a few things going on here. So I will do my best, even with some of the gifts. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. With that being said, my name is Breezy. I served 8 years in the Marine Corps, and I was injured, and I was medically retired from my injuries. And so, so with that, I'm going to kind of touch base a little bit about my experiences from a female aspect of being in the military, especially in the Marine Corps, and then being injured and overcoming the challenges I had to go through with being a female Marine, having injuries, and then still being able to take care of my son on my own by myself.
Yeah, I mean that just that right there is impressive. I mean, just to be able to do that and to be in that particular position, even though we hadn't described or talked about anything right there, just on the surface. I mean, that certainly is a wonderful place to start. I think that it gives you a chance and a platform to share your story and like you said, just overcoming, the challenges that you had in your life and to be able to really just reflect on that. So like I said, I just applaud you for just being here and being able to share that. So it's awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much. Like, I do.
What would you say as far as overcoming the challenge that you feel like was most important in your life, or what do you feel like was really the starting point for what you overcame, or a particular point in your life that you really would like to share that you feel like would really connect and reflect on you to the audience and me and yourself as well?
So what I like to touch on is, sorry, my son texted me.
Real life.
What I want to touch on is the fact of like it took me some time after you and I had talked about doing this. It took me some time to like really break it down in my head of how I wanted to speak about it. And the most overcoming thing I had to do that was challenging was being in a wheelchair for 5.5 years, not understanding what was wrong with my body and not understanding why I couldn't get out of a wheelchair when I was active duty. And my injuries that I sustained was blunt force trauma to the left side of my head, and I lost the ability to walk after I woke up from a coma. And knowing after the first couple of years after having the injury done, it was from my ex-husband who was a Marine as well. And dying, I legitimately died on our kitchen floor from bleeding out from my head.
Oof.
And finding out after waking up from the coma what was going on, then having my son torn from me where I wasn't allowed to see my son or be with my son, like as if I was the one that was the attacker. Yeah. So and overall, that's the most challenging part of my life, that I look in a whole different aspect now compared to what I did back then.
Yeah. And that was kind of what I wanted to touch on, was the fact that what perspective for you, what really put things in a different light for you, being in that particular situation, learning through that about you, or as you as a person or as a mother, what really made you grow, or what really kind of helped you overcome, the challenge of what you really had in front of you specifically?
Well, the fact that when I had my son when I was active duty, my son was diagnosed at 2 years of age with high functioning Asperger's autism. And so I think the hardest part for me mentally was the fact of like, as I was going through the Marine Corps still until we could figure out if I was going to get medically retired or if they're going to keep me in or if I was just going to get kicked out.
You just didn't know.
I didn't have any aspect, but I was so depressed. Right. I tried multiple times. I mean, I'll say it, I chickened out numerous times, but I wanted to kill myself so many times when I was at the barracks. And I didn't feel like I could ever get to walk again, to be that mom that I needed to be, because I was dosed up with so many medications. I had, a horrible, marriage. I had my command and my fellow Marines literally harassing me to the point of where suicide was like the better thing for me to do. And I mean, I had things set up where like I had, drawn out paperwork for my son to be adopted and stuff like that. And so really it was overcoming what was up here, not so much about what was up with my legs. That was to come, but it was all about up here.
Right.
because I was angry, I was sad, I was depressed, I was so dark.
I think that a lot of people don't understand sometimes that, when you're struggling mentally, it can really affect your entire life. It can affect people that are around you. It can affect you, in so many different ways. It's sometimes not necessarily, just a physical thing. For you specifically, it was because not only were you struggling mentally on some things, you were also struggling physically. And so when you have both of those kind of working against themselves, I'm sure that, what you were going through was definitely, there's probably not even words to describe how much of a struggle or a challenge it was for you.
I was angry.
Mm-hmm.
I was so angry. I was angry at myself. I blamed myself for putting myself in a situation with my ex. I was angry at myself for not being the Marine I knew I could have been and should have been,
Mm-hmm.
because I was no longer able to walk and do my job or the mission or be deployed. I was angry at the military. I hated the Marine Corps when I got out. I hated everyone that was in the military. I hated them because I was so angry.
Yeah.
And because I felt like my life for the rest of my life was going to be in the military and I couldn't be me. And then it was 2015. 2015. So this happened October. So every year I celebrate it now. I celebrate my Alive Day. It's different than those that served in combat. But
I saw the pictures you posted on Instagram about it, and how personal that really meant to you. And it, like you said, it meant so much to you. It meant probably so much to so many other different people. But for you specifically, it really just is a day that, like you say, you reflect on overcoming a challenge. You reflect on where you were in your life at that point in time and where you were then and where you are now, as a mom, as a person,
oh,
as that is a lot better.
now where I'm at, it's taken years to get where I'm at.
I'm sure.
And, it was 2012, the incident happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2013, 2014, 2015, I was still struggling, but my dad died. And my dad and I used to ride motorcycles growing up. And so my dad was a big part of my life, but I was stuck. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't drive anywhere. I couldn't fly. Heaven forbid trying to fly with a wheelchair.
Right.
So it was difficult. And so my dad passed away and he died from a motorcycle accident. And I remember the same week, it was the 4th of July. I remember my son and I playing ball out at this baseball park. And my son at the time, he was only almost 4. And he was like, Mommy, catch the ball. And he threw the ball towards me and I couldn't catch it. And the ball went out into the road. And I couldn't get off from the baseball sand fast enough to catch my son to be able to grab him and that ball. And my fear the entire time was that I'm going to watch my son get killed in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that situation with my son happened. He was safe. Nothing bad happened. But it was that thought. Then 3 days later, I get a Facebook message saying that my dad died. And to me, it was a wake-up call. Like, do I want to be here? Do I want to stay in this chair? Do I want to feel like the chair is going to run my life, or am I going to run my life? And so at that point, I started to push. And I went to San Diego State University and I said, what can you do for me that the military can't? And they said, we can do experimental treatments because you are no longer active duty. So we're going to do experimental treatments as long as you're okay with it. I said, as long as it doesn't take away from me being a mom.
Right.
And
Because that's the number one priority. It's your son.
Oh, yeah. Because at that time, after I got out of the Marine Corps, my ex has never been involved since 2013.
Right.
He's never been involved with his son. And so being a
It pretty
mom
much was on your
is so
plate.
important.
Yeah.
So my son and my dad were my drive. And I was at the state university. And when I was there, they said, we can do experimental treatments. And I said, okay, well, let me sign whatever waivers I have to. And I signed up. I did all the legal documentation for my mother to take my son if I was to die during these experiments. So with that being said, I went through what's called electroshock therapy to the brain. I did that for 9 months straight. At the same time, I was doing physical therapy at the same time. And then I was doing water therapy. Water therapy is when somebody has a spinal cord injury and you're in the pool, but you're doing weights within the pool. So within those 9 months, I was hardcore at it. And so throughout time, I ended up buying myself a Sportster, a motorcycle, an 883. And I started using that motorcycle as my ability to start having leg movement, of being able to stand for my muscles.
Yeah.
And one day I decided that if I'm going to crash, I'm going to crash, but I'm going to at least feel the wind in my hair. Yeah. And so I started to ride the bike, started getting better strength back in my legs, the ability to walk better. Everything started going the way that I really wanted it to. So a few months later, after the Sportster, I decided that I wanted bigger. So I went bigger and I bought a 2016. I'm dead.
Hey, that could not be more, just to take the time, that could not be more of a perfect gift right now. That is so much just to your story. So that's amazing.
That's funny.
You bought it?
Sorry, that kind of caught me off guard. Okay.
Me too.
Cams, you got me there. You even got my 16 milli cams. Okay, hold on. Let me get back.
Right.
So I went and I bought myself a 2016 Street Glide Special. I quit my job and I flew my son back to my mom's and I said, I have to do this. I said, I've gotten through all of the electroshock therapy and the physical therapy that I could ever do. I said, the next step is I have to fix up here. I said, I have to let go of my anger. I have to let go of me feeling like the world owes me something. And so I got on my motorcycle, I quit my job, and I rode from California all the way back home to Minnesota. And I took the same route that my dad took when he crashed his motorcycle. Wow. And that entire time, I cannot tell you, literally, I felt like the entire world was lifted off my shoulders.
I'm sure.
And then I rode all the way back to California afterwards. And I was like, I have me back. I have a drive. I have a different life. I don't have to live the one that I was living before, but I can live this new life and do what I want. And so I started going to college. I was really adamant about my education. Now, throughout the time, I went through law enforcement academy only because of the fact I wanted to prove to myself that I could do the job that I once did before I went in the Marine Corps. And I did it. And I was the president of my police academy class. And I made sure that it was a milestone in my life to do. And then now it's like, now I'm doing my psychology degree and getting my master's in psychology because your body and your mind can overcome so much.
It really can.
You yourself is determination, not your illness, not your disability or anything. And I teach my son that every day with his disability. It's not a disability. It's an ability to see life in a different way. We just all have to be able to be willing to accept that.
Absolutely. I mean, you couldn't say it any better than that, because I think with what you were going through, I think too that people don't understand, especially with what you're doing with your father. A lot of people that have not ever experienced grief don't understand that can affect you in so many different ways. When you're already dealing with other things and other parts of your life, grief can really affect people in so many ways that are really hard to explain, because if you've never lost a father, you've never lost a mother, you've never lost someone in your life, you don't really know how that feels. But, for you to be able to ride on that path from California to Minnesota, I mean, that was something that was able to kind of help you, think of your dad, get back to, what, you valued as him, as a father and as a person and things like that. And I think just that right there within itself certainly speaks highly of you and what, you were dealing with, because I mean, I think what you were going through especially would be already difficult, but then you had to add another layer of actually losing someone in your life. I don't know how you did it. I mean, I really don't, because I know that's tough. And I mean, that right here is such a tremendous opportunity to use the topic that we're talking about as overcoming a challenge, because that's just, we're all probably just listening to what you're sharing and what you're giving your perspective on, and how we're looking at it just like, wow, like this woman right here, and the people that have been in your life to make not only your life better, but for you to, influence them is just, it's indescribable, honestly.
And we can use so many opportunities that we have now,
Hmm.
regardless of disabilities or an injury or anything like that. We can use that for our advantage of moving forward and better
Sure.
success. Like now I run a nonprofit organization for female veterans because I know what it felt like feeling like you had no one during the time you were active duty and when you first got out.
Right.
And then now at the same time, it's like, even during this COVID time, like, wow, like COVID itself has dramatically changed so much, especially those that I still talk to that are in the military that are injured. And it's hurting mentally for them and isolation. And they're already dealing with so much more. And our past experiences and the things that we've been through is literally there to make us stronger. As much as it sucks to kind of see it, there's always a positive out of the negative. And you just, sometimes it sucks to have it happen, but you just got to pull yourself through it to find those positive aspects of it.
Absolutely. I think too, especially, we try to handle things on our own. I mean, I think we're all kind of wired sometimes to be hard headed or think that we can deal with things by ourselves. That's just a natural human instinct. And I think that we all want to be independent in some way, whether it be financially, whether it be through a physical, disability or whatever the case may be. I think that we all want to handle that on our own because then we feel like that we're where we want to be and we've gotten through that by ourselves, but we also have to have other people to help us in whatever way that is, whatever form or fashion that is, whether it be some kind of support system as far as words of encouragement or kindness or whatever the case may be. It just really, it's a real reflection of us just as human beings that we just, it's so hard to overcome a challenge. And I mean, it's just amazing where you're at. And I'm so proud that I've been able to listen to what you've been able to share with me, and it just certainly puts our friendship in a different perspective for sure.
Well, I appreciate everyone. And as some people think that, you can only have so many friends in your life, well, I can agree to disagree. I think everyone's life, you yourself, you're like a dartboard.
Hmm.
The most important part of that dartboard is that small little black circle, and that's you. And the rings around that dartboard is people you bring into your life and how close and how far. But that doesn't mean you have to exclude them away from your life. It just means
Sure.
where you place them, because everyone is a reason for joining your life for whatever reason it may be, for good or for bad. But
Hmm.
you get to make that decision on where you're going to place them on that board.
I think that so many people, on a daily basis, we all overcome challenges. And I think that, an app like this is just such a tremendous platform to get through some of the struggles or everyday lives, things that we have come up. Sometimes we may jump into somebody's stream that, maybe we're just having a rough day. Maybe we're really at a dark place in our life. And just to see that person's face, just to hear what they have to say, just to listen and understand that, like, hey, we're all in this world together. We all have, challenges in our life that we have to overcome. But it's if we can do it together and not everybody be over here and understand that that's where we got to be, it just makes life so much easier. And yeah, the dartboard, let's go.
It would make things so much easier, right? Like if we could live in a life of rainbow unicorns and fucking glitter, everything would be fantastic. But
Right.
we know and understand that life is not that way.
Right.
So those negative people or the negative things that are happening in life, even if it's COVID, you have to step back and think about it and say, what is the reason for this? And then what is the positive part? The positive
Mhm.
parts of even with COVID is mothers and fathers get to spend more time with their kids.
Yes.
Very unfortunate for the economy, but they're spending more time and quality time. And so it's just small little pieces of pulling it apart and saying, what is positive for this for me? Even if it's a person, even if you don't like their attitude, you don't like how they look on stream or whatever else, there's a reason why you went in there. There's a
Mhm.
reason why you're listening, and you can still pull a positive out of that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that as we all continue to do what we do, I had a really good friend of mine word it the other day when we were in a meeting. He said, all of us are on an island, so to speak. When we're on this, we're all on an island. We're all kind of doing our thing and this and that. And at some point, we have to allow people to come visit us, like in a real way. You know what I'm saying? I know that's sometimes a little bit harder for some folks more than it is others, but we all have to like continue to and just that aspect, overcome a challenge of like, hey, we're all in this together, especially this year. We're all dealing with the struggles of being, in a pandemic and things like that. And it may get a little bit more of a worse thing than it will be better. But, this is a great platform, especially for us to overcome just that challenge of being through that and trying to be better people and trying to be better streamers and try to be better friends to people on and off the app. I think it's just such a tremendous, opportunity for so many people on here to use that to their best advantage. I mean, yeah, there's this and that. That's how real life is. You're not going to find, like you said, everything's not going to be butterflies and clouds in the sky every day. But as we try to look at that stuff and realize that, hey, we're trying to overcome a challenge. We're trying to get where we want to be and continue to surround ourselves with the right people. I think that you really could not, ask for anything better than that.
And when you do have challenges, whether it's today or tomorrow or the challenges you had from last year, still always like, there was something my boss, my previous boss from 2 years ago, he reminded me of something. He said, every day, write down what you're grateful for.
Sure.
Every morning or before you go to bed. So that way in the morning you see it and it starts your day of being like, you know what, I am grateful for that. Because saying it is one thing, but then seeing it written is a whole nother way.
Right.
And it's your direct reflection because you now made that time to write it down instead of typing it, but it's your own handwriting. And being able to do either 3 or one of them, something and stuff, just knowing that you can do it. You're already here. You've already made it this far. We only
Better make the best of it.
We do have one life to live. Some of us have other opportunities to be able to survive death. But at the same time, we have one life to live. How much do you want to waste it? And how much do you want to spend on improving your life and making yourself the ability of other people remembering you up here and in their hearts than being a faded memory and going, yeah, I knew that person.
Right. And to me, that's really what I look at as far as the vision of this show and the opportunity to have people come on, amazing people like yourself and other people that are interested in coming on and talking about and sharing about things that they're grateful for, opportunities in their life that they're really appreciative of. Maybe it's people in their life, especially, more specific to just people in their life that have really, impacted them and to be grateful and appreciative of that. I think that that's really my vision of this, of what I'm trying to create here and to have so many people be a part of that and enjoy that with me. I think that it certainly helps me sleep better at night.
I think it's fantastic. I think your show, and I'm not, but
yeah. What
I'm saying is your show itself gives a different aspect of something being positive to reflect back on, we're not all the same either.
Mm-hmm.
We're not all the same.
Yeah, we all come from different backgrounds.
Handsome, you might be anything like that, or you may not be. But at the same time, like, we're not all here. Like, we didn't just grow up overnight and then we're all like, we are functioned to be a streamer. Like, that's just not how life was.
Right.
So I think having an opportunity like this for you yourself to grow and everything, and giving that little bit of positive once a week, or it could turn into more. You just never know. Like, some people really need to be able to, I don't know, I guess you would say, like, have a direct reflect of, wow, everyone else's challenges are all different than my own. But they can go, you know what? I can use that for momentum. I can use that. I can understand it. And I know I can do more. I can do better because it's them telling them instead of someone else.
You made a great point where I think that in a lot of ways, we're all different. We all go through different things, but regardless of what we believe religiously, regardless of what, ethnicity or whatever, orientation sexually that we choose to do, we still can all come together and be grateful for things in our life. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's the most important thing that we can all take from every single week as we try to put, great content and great opportunities for people to share and reflect. I think that that's really the most important thing, is to try to continue to be grateful and be appreciative of, what we have and where we want to be.
And I think too, because I'm not sure exactly how long this lasts, but on that note,
You're good.
As crappy as the situation was to be killed on my kitchen floor by the person I was supposed to love and be with for the rest of my life, I am grateful for it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it took years and years of me to finally be able to be grateful for that, because it brought me to be who I am and my drive to want to actually physically, mentally, and emotionally help other people. And it made me into a lot better mother than I would have been before the injury would have happened.
Yeah. Just, that's, wow. That's great stuff. I mean, I had to steal a line from my buddy Blake. That is amazing content right there. It's just, it's great because it shows that we're human. It shows that we all have struggles and things that we go through in our life, and that we're so tremendously appreciative for, where we're at right here and where we end up, that's life. And the walk that we want to do, like you said, to overcome the challenges, whether it be a serious, super like way up here kind of thing that you've been through, that you've conquered, that you are continuing to conquer and work through every single day, or even it's just something simple like, something that's a little bit different. I mean, it all hits us different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It all hits us in a different way, in a different part of our life. And it's what we do to make the most of that. And I think it's just great. I think it's amazing for you to have taken the time to just share what you've been through and just touch on a little bit, as you, not just as a streamer, but as a person and as a mom and as a daughter and things like that. I couldn't continue to say much more about you at all. I mean, I run out of words to give you just.
You don't have to run out of words. I know.
I don't have any more adjectives to say,
I mean, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Like, as much as and it's hard for me now throughout my life that I'm a very difficult person to accept compliments.
We all are.
It's very difficult. It's appreciative. It is appreciative, and I recognize the appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so difficult to have people, whether it's yourself or every now and then you'll message me and be like, I just want you to know you're amazing, and it's so nice to have that too. But then at the same time, like, it's hard to take those compliments, because when you take those compliments and stuff, you're kind of like, is that good? Is that bad? Am I, and so it does get difficult, but I appreciate them tremendously so much.
Yeah. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your, life to share your story and what you've experienced. And I think where I'm at, what I do for a living and things like that, I think it was just amazing to hear, what you felt through the loss of your dad and where you're at now. I think it speaks volumes of you as a person. And I appreciate you being very vulnerable and being able to share that with me and so many other people here. I'm glad to just be able to listen to what you got to say. So yeah. Anything that would you like to say in closing? Anything that you would like to wrap up as far as anything at all? Floor is certainly yours. Not to put you on the spot or anything. I just.
Give me 2 seconds, okay? You trying to get over there? Sorry.
Mom mode.
I think with that, an ending closing, it would be is, as hard as it may feel, as much as you might feel that you're struggling, is that that you can and you will overcome whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're a veteran, whether you're active duty, whether you're a civilian, whether you're a single mom, whatever it may be is your title, you can and you will make it over all your challenges and obstacles in your way, because your obstacles are placed there for a reason.
Yes.
You have to take a step back, breathe, and recognize why is it there and what can you learn from it. Always learn from your obstacles, because when the next obstacle comes, it ain't going to be nothing.
Right. Guys, in closing, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you're new here, please hit her with a favorite. I mean, please check her out anytime you get a chance to. She's a great person. I appreciate her sharing her story and, just being here. Thank you so much, Breezy. I certainly appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Much love and respect.
Nice. Guys, just reflect with the audience. I mean, if anybody would like to just continue to add anything, that they have overcome as a challenge, and just kind of touch on what she was saying, and how much we appreciate her being here, and how much we learn from her story, and what she's has done. It speaks volumes, and I think that everybody can certainly learn a lot from the conversation tonight. I think that we can continue to apply what we can in our life, overcoming challenges. Kansas said, your struggles is what you make who you are. Your successes are what make who you are who you are. Exactly. Losing a horse on Vets Day and being backstabbed by someone I helped. I mean, that's tough. Check out Hosts and Skills of the Battles this weekend. Yeah, please definitely hit her up for that. But guys, thank you so much for reflecting with me and just sharing things that are important. Like Blake said, it puts into perspective how to be grateful each and every day. And that's what we're trying to do here, guys. Every Monday, like I said, this is the show that we're going to work on. We certainly, if anybody want to hit me up in DMs, if you want to favor my friend, the Pineapple Queen, if you'd be interested in being on the show, that's important. And please, please feel free to reach out and let us continue to add what we can, to the app. Sparkle said, I was struggling to see my challenges as possible to overcome today, and her story was just what I needed. That's great. And I think that we all can learn every single day. Blake made a great point. It definitely puts the perspective of how grateful we are every single day. Beth was struggling all day. She needed this. I think we all needed this. I think I needed it myself especially, because, we all go through things. We all go through struggles. We all go through, tough times in our life, and it's what we make of it, and trying to overcome that challenge. So if anybody else wants to add anything to the conversation, you're still struggling from last week when losing a client, definitely what I needed to hear today. So grateful to have this moment every Monday, right? And like I said, if you're interested in being on the show, please hit me with that message. Please let me know that you want to be considered for, being on the show, and we'll try to line something up. Just to kind of touch on it again, guys, if you weren't here, if you were late to the conversation, we try to do a quote every single week. I think it's important to try to bring a positive light and perspective to what we're trying to do. Again, the topic was this week, overcoming a challenge. And the quote was this: be grateful for your challenges, setbacks, adversity, and disappointments. Be grateful for your opportunity to overcome every single one, because doing so contributes to your growth and your ability to help others overcome theirs. Man, that's good stuff. Let me read that one more time for everybody, just to kind of just hang on what that is. Be grateful for your challenges, setbacks, adversity, and disappointments. Be grateful for your opportunity to overcome every single one, because doing so contributes to your growth and your ability to help others overcome theirs. That's amazing, guys. I'm glad that we were able to share that with you guys tonight. Just to let you know, like I said, this is something we do every Monday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Please hit me with that favorite. Please favorite Breezy. We got a lot of amazing people in here tonight, and I'm so glad that you guys were here to share this with us, to interject whatever feelings or comments that you had in your own life. I appreciate you guys just being a part of this. I'm not here just by myself. I have a lot of amazing guests that I hope I can continue to be on here and share their stories, not just a part of just the screen, not just this iPad or iPhone, but to share us as people and things like that. So like Nessa said, next week is Mental Health Awareness on her stream. So feel free to tune in. So guys, please favor her with that. Because that's a really huge thing that a lot of people deal with. As you heard what Breezy said, she dealt with some mental health herself, and look where she's at tonight, at this juncture in her life now. She's doing the best that she can for her child. She's doing the best that she can for herself, and continuing to grow each and every day. So guys, like I said, hit me up with a message if you're interested to be on the show. Next week's topic is going to be opportunities. I know that's a little bit vague, but if you have an opportunity in your life that you're grateful for, if you have an opportunity in your life that you're thankful for, if you have someone in your life that has been an opportunity, If you have someone that's come into your life that you feel like is an opportunity in a wonderful way, in a positive way, in a great, wonderful, platform, please, like I said, hit me up. If you're interested in being on the show, we'll try to see what we can do. We'll try to talk to you. We'll try to, put something together to give you a chance. And even if you're not on the show, guys, that's what we're going to do with the comments. We're going to try to hit everybody up in the comments, see what we can share, see what we can touch on, see what we can interject into the show for everybody to feel like that they're a part of it, that they can share something about themselves and maybe for somebody else. So, guys, like I said, next week's topic, opportunities. It's been a wonderful show. It's been a great chance to meet so many new people, to meet so many friends, to meet, Breezy on a different level because she's a really good friend of mine, and to see where she's been, where her life has gone, where she's going to continue to go, her past, present, future. It's just a very touching story, and I hope that you guys got as much out of it as I did. And, like I said, please hit it with a favorite. Please continue to support each other on here. Try to be the best versions of ourselves. I'm so glad and so grateful to be able to do this every single week. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Peace.